Governor Rick Snyder has accepted Northern Michigan University's invitation to speak at commencement on Saturday, May 5th. Snyder has praised NMU's effort to expand internet access throughout the Upper Peninsula through its Educational Access Network. The governor singled out Inventa NMU and introduced student and staff representatives during his 2016 State of the State address. Snyder became Michigan's 48th governor in 2011 and is an alumnus of the University of Michigan, where he earned 3 degrees. And on December 19th, an auto crash happened in Delta County, and a woman from Garden, Michigan is being filed charges. The Delta County Prosecutor's Office has charged Audrey Hutchinson with 2 felony charges, one for operating with a high body alcohol content causing serious injury with a prior conviction. The second charge is reckless driving causing serious impairment of body function. The original accident took place on US 241 and M35 near Michigan Avenue in Gladstone. The driver of the second vehicle involved, Hannah Dallaire of Gladstone, is being treated for her injuries in Green Bay, Wisconsin.
The Houghton County Sheriff's Office responded to a 2-vehicle crash on Thursday, February 1st on Highway M26 near Airport Park Road in Osceola Township. A vehicle driven by a 58-year-old Macomb man was unable to stop at a stop sign and was then struck by another vehicle driven by a 28-year-old Houghton woman. The 2 vehicles then crashed into parked tractors at Ward's Outdoor Equipment and Repair parking lot. The 2 drivers were both injured and were both transported to UP Portage by family and friends. And the Upper Peninsula Animal Welfare Shelter in Negaunee Township plans to celebrate the Super Bowl along with millions nationwide. From noon until 4 p.m. on both Saturday and Sunday, everyone is invited to the shelter to play and cuddle with kittens and other pets. People are also encouraged to adopt, as kittens under 6 months will be discounted and cats older than 6 months will be free of charge. All the cats would be microchipped, either spayed or neutered, and have all necessary vaccinations.
The West Branch Sportsman Club's 16th annual UP Predator Challenge began February 1st and runs through the 4th. During the hunt, participants will be on the hunt for bobcats, coyotes, and foxes. Teams of 1 or 2 hunters with the necessary licenses participate to earn the most points based on kills. The winner of the contest wins $800. For a full list of rules, be sure to check out their website. And the meeting wasn't underway long before members of the Gladstone School Board went into a closed session that lasted almost 3.5 hours. They discussed possible disciplinary action against Superintendent Jay Colbertus for his part in actions that led to the loss of the program. The intent of the meeting had been to bring the Gladstone Board up to speed on the events that led to the loss of the program. Indications are that there was an additional item that was discussed during the closed session, and the board wasn't willing to disclose at this time. And after the break, we'll be back with your national and international news.
Next, Native Report. We'll attend a rally to change the mascot. We'll go into the Native Report studio with rapper Chase Manhattan.
We still have a chance to bring these salmon back.
And we'll remember treaty rights advocate, the late Billy Frank Jr. We'll also learn something new about Indian country and hear from our elders on the next Native Report.
Saturday at 5 after Outdoor Wisconsin.
Welcome back. As temperatures begin to dip, Pennsylvania's most famous groundhog predicts no early end to winter. The furry rodent Punxsutawney Phil saw his shadow at dawn this morning, which calls for 6 more weeks of winter. Thousands of people bundled up to face the cold as they gathered overnight to watch the forecast. Records dating back to 1887 included Phil has predicted winters 103 times and early springs just 18 times. And a controversial classified memo is now public despite objections to its release from the FBI and Justice Department. Mola Lenghi has more details from the White House.
President Trump has agreed to declassify a controversial memo over the objections of his top law enforcement officials.
The memo was sent to Congress. It was declassified. Congress will do whatever they're going to do. But I think it's a disgrace what's happening in our country.
The president tweeted this morning, the top leadership and investigators of the FBI and the Justice Department have politicized the sacred investigative process in favor of Democrats and against Republicans. The memo, written by Republican Congressman Devin Nunes, reportedly claims the FBI and Department of Justice abused surveillance of Trump campaign officials as part of its Russia probe. The FBI has pushed back, saying it has grave concerns about the memo's accuracy. White House officials say the president made the decision to release the memo in full without any changes.
I sent it over to Congress. They will do what they're going to do. Whatever they do is Fine, it was declassified. And let's see what happens.
Democrats say Nunes cherry-picked different classified elements to put a partisan slant on the investigation.
This is designed to impugn the credibility of the FBI, to undermine the investigation, to give the president additional fodder to attack the investigation.
FBI Director Christopher Wray has objected to the release and could issue a rebuttal soon. Mo Lelenghi, CBS News, the White House.
A father of 3 victims tried to attack Larry Nassar in a Michigan courtroom on Friday after a judge declined his request for a few minutes alone in a locked room with the Demon's former sports doctor. Randall Margraves was blocked by an attorney and tackled by sheriff's deputies. 2 of the man's daughters had just told the judge that they and another sister had been sexually abused by Nassar under the guise of medical treatment. Margraves then lunged at Nassar, who was sitting nearby. Margraves was restrained by sheriff's deputies and hauled out of court. He returned a few hours later to apologize to Judge Janice Cunningham, who said there was no way she would punish him under her contempt of court powers. More than 30 victims have given statements so far during the hearing, which began Wednesday and is expected to stretch into next week. And scientists studying polar bears in the Arctic say climate change is having a bigger impact on the animals than first thought. Now, some amazing video caught on camera is helping researchers track every move the polar bears make. Terry Okita has more from London.
With Arctic temperatures at 20 degrees below zero, this is as close to a polar bear selfie as scientists can get. The cameras, attached to tracking collars, are providing new insight into how the threatened species hunts, eats, and mates.
Really quite fascinating to learn the basic behaviors of these animals.
The U.S. Geological Survey followed 9 female polar bears off the coast of Alaska at springtime over a 3-year period, equipping them with a GPS collar similar to a Fitbit. They logged the animals' behavior on sea ice, which is vital for hunting.
How often they're actually catching seals, how often they're actually spending trying to catch seals.
Scientists found climate change and shrinking ice cover are making it impossible for bears to catch enough prey to meet their body's needs. They actually lost weight instead of putting on the pounds needed to reproduce, care for cubs, and survive harsh winters. Zookeepers in Britain say at some point bears in captivity may be needed to help boost the wild population. They created a state-of-the-art breeding enclosure at a zoo in Scotland, and it worked. In December, a polar bear cub was born in Britain for the first time in a quarter century. Terry Okita, CBS News, London.
The United Nations Migration Agency reports 90 Pakistani migrants are feared drowned after a smuggler's boat capsized off Libya's coast early Friday. At least 10 bodies have already washed ashore near the Libyan town of Zuwara. International Organization for Migration spokeswoman Olivia Heaton said Pakistani nationals were the 13th largest nationality to attempt crossing the Mediterranean into Italy and Europe last year. And stay with us. Right after the break, we'll have your weather and sports.
Up this week on High School Bowl, we wrap up our first round. We have 2 more teams to send on to the Cerebral 16. Who will they be? Well, I tell you what, in our first game, Kingsford takes on Big Bay de Noc. Hi, I'm Jim Koski, and then on our second game, the teams vying for that final slot would be Iron Mountain and Wakefield Marinesco. That's coming up this week on High School Bowl.
And welcome back to Public Eye News. My name is Charlie Edwards with a look at your local weather report. As you can see behind me, it's a pretty cloudy day outside, so make sure you throw on a jacket before heading outside. As you can see from our current conditions, it is 10 degrees with the winds coming from the west at 13 miles an hour, and the barometric pressure is 30.34 and falling. Tonight, expect a low of 3 degrees with winds coming from the west-southwest at 9 miles an hour. And tomorrow, there will be a high of 15 degrees with winds coming from the northwest at 9 miles an hour. In Sault Ste. Marie, it is 7 degrees and snowy. In Manistee, it is 12 degrees and cloudy. Escanaba, it is sunny and 10 degrees. Menominee, it is 9 degrees and sunny. Iron Mountain, it is also 9 degrees and sunny. Ironwood, 4 degrees and cloudy. In Houghton, it is 8 degrees and cloudy. And back here in Marquette, it is still 10 degrees and cloudy. Let's take a look at your week ahead. On Sunday, there will be a high of 10 degrees with a low of -1 and partly cloudy. Monday, a high of 15 degrees, a low of 2 and partly cloudy. And on Tuesday, a high of 14, a low of 2 degrees and partly cloudy. Well, even though the temperatures get colder and colder as the weeks go by, apparently things are really heating up for NMU basketball.
Oh yeah, for sure. The Northern Michigan University men's basketball team played Purdue Northwest last night and beat them 90-74. This victory gives the Wildcats their most wins in a season in over a decade. The last time the Wildcats won more than 11 games in a season was the 2006-07 season, where they won 18 games in a single season. Sophomore Will Carius led the Wildcats with 21 points to set a season high. Junior Isaiah Johnson scored 18, and sophomore Marcus Metelsky scored 17 points. Sophomore Sam Taylor also scored 12 points and a team best of 4 assists and 3 steals. Linda Hofstad-Helleland, the vice president of the World Anti-Doping Agency, said on Friday the situation which we now find ourselves is very chaotic. She said this after 28 of the Russian athletes competing in the Olympics had their doping bans overturned by the Court of Arbitration for Sport. In an email to Associated Press, she also said, quote, "Clean athletes and sport fans around the world have lost confidence in the system. It's time to stand up and clearly say this has to stop. This situation can't be accepted any longer," end quote. Hofstad-Helleland has said her main task as vice president is to protect the rights of clean athletes. The January transfer window for the English Premier League has come to a close, and we saw some big players come and go. Liverpool's Brazilian Philippe Coutinho departed to join FC Barcelona. Manchester United and Arsenal both had big windows, with star Chilean Alexis Sanchez leaving Arsenal to join United in a swap deal. That saw Manchester's Armenian midfielder Henrik Mkhitaryan head south to join Arsenal. Arsenal also sold their big man up top Olivier Giroud to Chelsea. In response, Chelsea sold their super sub Michy Batshuayi to Borussia Dortmund. The gain of Batshuayi then prompted Dortmund to let star striker Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang head to London to join Arsenal, to replace French flop Alexandre Lacazette. Everton also had a good window as they saw Turkish attacker Cenk Tosun come from Besiktas and English winger Theo Walcott come from Arsenal to join the club. And if you're a sports fan, this window was a hard thing to miss, but I heard you have a story about someone who doesn't feel quite the same.
The girl had a pretty big fear when she woke up from surgery. A diehard Philadelphia Eagles fan woke from recent dental surgery having one big fear. Did I miss the Super Bowl? In a recent Facebook video, the father of Haley Parks shows her waking up after having her wisdom teeth removed. Her mom told her the game was this Sunday, and Parks stated that the team is basically her sisters. The video has been viewed more than 1 million times, and the Eagles are set to play the New England Patriots this Sunday. Well, Ryan, with the big game Sunday, who are you picking?
I think I'm going to have to go with the underdogs and pick the Eagles.
Good choice. And with that, that's all the time we have today on Public Eye News, but join us again on Monday. Thanks for watching.
The preceding program was produced in studios located in the Edgar L. Hardin Learning Resources Center by WNMU-TV, Northern Michigan University Public Television.